Expand your vocabulary with our Core 2000 Words ebook. It's free and packed with essential expressions that you'll use on a daily basis. Start building your vocabulary today. Click the link in the description below to download your free Czech ebook before it's gone.
Welcome to CzechClass101.com's Česky za 3 minuty, the fastest, easiest and most fun way to learn Czech. Ahoj, já jsem Veronika. Těší mě. Hi, I'm Veronika. Nice to meet you. In this series, you are going to learn basic Czech expressions. It's super easy and it only takes 3 minutes. In this lesson, you are going to learn how to introduce yourself in Czech. You'll start speaking right away, but first, it's important to clarify that in Czech, there is a difference between the formal and the informal language. Let's first see how Czech people introduce themselves in an informal situation. Ahoj, já jsem Veronika. Ráda tě poznávám. Hi, I'm Veronika. Nice to meet you. Ahoj, já jsem Veronika. Ráda tě poznávám. For males, the form of ráda changes to rád. Ahoj, já jsem Petr. Rád tě poznávám. Hi, I'm Petr. Nice to meet you. Ahoj, já jsem Petr. Rád tě poznávám. Start by saying ahoj, já jsem. Then say your name. Ahoj, já jsem Veronika. Finally say ráda tě poznávám if you are a female or rád tě poznávám if you are a male. Ahoj, já jsem Veronika. Ráda tě poznávám. Ahoj, já jsem Petr. Rád tě poznávám. And now let's see the same sentence in formal speech. Dobrý den, já jsem Veronika Nová. Ráda vás poznávám. Good day, I'm Veronika Nová. Nice to meet you. Dobrý den. Já jsem Veronika Nová. Ráda vás poznávám. And again, the form of ráda changes to rád for males. Dobrý den, já jsem Petr Nový. Rád vás poznávám. Hi, I'm Petr Nový. Nice to meet you. Dobrý den, já jsem Petr Nový. Rád vás poznávám. So what has changed from the previous introduction? Let's take a close look at these expressions together. Ahoj has been substituted with the formal greeting Dobrý den, Czech for good day. Já jsem Veronika has not been changed. Já jsem simply means I am. However, during a formal self-introduction, we also say our last name. So I said Veronika Nová. Here you would say your full name. Finally, pay attention to the ending. We went from tě poznávám to vás poznávám. What changes is the Czech word for you in the accusative case. In a formal sentence, we use the more polite word vás. One more time, the informal way to introduce yourself in Czech is Ahoj, já jsem Veronika. Ráda tě poznávám for females. And Ahoj, já jsem Petr. Rád tě poznávám for males. The formal way to introduce yourself is Dobrý den, já jsem Veronika Nová. Ráda vás poznávám for females. And Dobrý den, já jsem Petr Nový. Rád vás poznávám for males. Now it's time for Veronika's insights. When you introduce yourself, it's a good habit to shake hands. If you are not sure whether to use ráda tě poznávám, rád tě poznávám, ráda vás poznávám, or rád vás poznávám, just say simply těší mě. As I said at the beginning of this lesson, těší mě means I am pleased to meet you. If you use the correct sentence with Czech people, they're definitely going to be impressed. That's it for this lesson. Do you know how we say thank you in Czech? You will learn how to say this and many other words in the next lesson. Ahoj příště! See you then! Ahoj, já jsem Veronika. Hi everybody, I'm Veronika. Welcome to CzechClass101.com's Česky za 3 minuty, the fastest, easiest and most fun way to learn Czech. In the last lesson, we learned how to introduce ourselves in Czech. In this lesson, we are going to learn how to use good manners as you thank people. Připraveni? Are you ready? Tak začneme. So let's start. There are several ways to thank someone. Let's start with the easiest. It's just one word. Děkuju. Děkuju. Děkuju means thank you. When saying thank you very much, you just need to add moc. Děkuju moc. Moc means a lot. So děkuju moc is like saying thank you very much. During the last lesson, we discussed the informal and the formal way of speaking Czech. Děkuju is the casual way to thank someone. If you want to be more formal, there is another phrase you should use. Děkuju vám. Děkuju vám. Let's break this phrase down. Děkuju means thanks. Vám is a formal word for you in the dative case. Notice that we don't use vás, as in the last lesson. We will discuss Czech pronouns in more depth in a later lesson. The full sentence once again. Děkuju vám. How do you answer? It's easy. Here are 2 different ways to do it. The first is prosím. Prosím. This means you're welcome. Prosím can be used with just about anybody. The other way to say you are welcome is the expression není zač. Není zač. Literally, this phrase means there is nothing to thank me for, or you don't have to thank me. But it has become a common and polite way to respond to someone thanking you. So when someone says děkuju to you, you can simply reply with prosím or není zač. Now it's time for Veronika's insights. If you're not sure about whether to use děkuju or děkuju vám, keeping it simple is always your safest bet. You don't have to worry about formal or informal situations. Děkuju can be used with just about anyone, anywhere, and at any time. In spoken Czech, you can also hear the word díky. It is a very casual and easy way to thank someone. Do you know what nashledanou means? In our next lesson, you will learn this and other greetings in Czech. Děkuju a ahoj příště! Ahoj, já jsem Veronika. Hi everybody, I am Veronika. Welcome to CzechClass101.com's Česky za 3 minuty, the fastest, easiest and most fun way to learn Czech. In the last lesson, we learned how to be grateful to people by saying děkuju. In this lesson, you will learn some of the most common greetings used in the Czech Republic. Připraveni? Are you ready? Tak začneme. So let's start. The most common informal greeting is ahoj. Ahoj. Ahoj means hi or hello. We should only use this greeting with friends or relatives. The most common formal greetings will change depending on the time of day. Let's start with dobrý den. Dobrý den. Literally, dobrý den means good day. As a rule of thumb, we can use dobrý den only during the daytime, from late morning until early evening. In the morning, we say dobré ráno, which means good morning. Dobré ráno. During the evening, we say dobrý večer. Dobrý večer. Then, ráno and večer are Czech for day, morning, and evening, respectively. Easy, right? Dobrý is the form of the adjective used in combination with masculine nouns, and dobré is the form we use with neuter nouns. It means good. What should you say when you leave? Czech people usually say na shledanou when leaving in a formal situation. Na shledanou. Na shledanou means goodbye. If we say goodbye to friends or our relatives, we use the informal word ahoj. Ahoj. Maybe you have already noticed, but informal hello and goodbye are the same in Czech. In both situations, we simply say ahoj. Now you can greet people in many different ways in Czech. Let's review them all again. First, the greetings. Informally, we simply say ahoj. Formally, use dobré ráno in the morning, dobrý den in the afternoon, and dobrý večer in the evening. When leaving in a formal situation, we say na shledanou. And in an informal situation, it's ahoj. It's easy, isn't it? Now it's time for Veronica's insights. You can also hear other greetings in the Czech Republic. For example, young people might use nazdar for hello when they meet each other. It is also very common to use the word ciao for both hello and goodbye in informal situations. But I'm sure you could guess what it means if you happen to hear it in the streets. In the next lesson, you will learn the meaning of the phrase mluvíte anglicky. Do you already know it? I will be waiting to talk about it with you in our next Czech in 3 minutes lesson. Ahoj! Ahoj, já jsem Veronika. Hi everybody, I am Veronika. Welcome to czechclass101.com's Česky za 3 minuty, the fastest, easiest and most fun way to learn Czech. In the last lesson, we learned the most common forms of greetings in Czech. Do you remember them? In this lesson, you are going to learn a very useful phrase. Do you speak English? If you find yourself in a situation where you need assistance in English, this phrase can be a lifesaver. And because you're asking it in Czech, you can be sure that everyone will understand what you are saying, even if their answer is no. Here's the informal way to say it. Mluvíš anglicky? Mluvíš anglicky? In Czech, verbs change depending on the person that they refer to. The first word is the verb mluvíš, which means to speak. Because it is referring to the second person, you, it is conjugated to mluvíš. And you probably recognize anglicky to be English, though anglicky is not a noun but an adverb. Mluvíš anglicky? We're now going to make this sentence formal. The person which the verb refers to is going to change to the formal version of you. Because of this, the verb will be conjugated differently. It becomes mluvíte instead of mluvíš, like in the informal version. Everything else stays the same. Mluvíte anglicky? Mluvíte anglicky? If you add promiňte, excuse me, the sentence becomes even more polite. Promiňte, mluvíte anglicky? Promiňte, mluvíte anglicky? The responses you will receive could be one of these three. Ano, yes, ano. Trochu, a little. Trochu. Ne, nemluvím anglicky. No, I don't speak English. Ne, nemluvím anglicky. Since this last one is a negative statement, we need to attach ne to the verb mluvit. Notice also that the form mluvím is slightly different than mluvit. Remember, the verb changes depending on the person it refers to. We are now talking about ourselves. Thus, I do not speak is nemluvím. Now it's time for Veronica's insights. For those of you who are not only English speakers, you can obviously use this question with any language you need. Czech people study other European languages at school, so maybe you will get lucky. Just substitute anglicky with italsky for Italian, rusky for Russian, španělsky for Spanish, francouzsky for French, and so on. In this lesson, we mentioned the expression promiňte. But did you know that this could also be used as an apology? In the next lesson, we will learn this and other ways to apologize in Czech. It's never too late to show your good manners with Czech people. I will see you in our next Česky za 3 minuty lesson. Ahoj! Ahoj, já jsem Veronika. Hi everybody, I'm Veronika. Welcome to CzechClass101.com's Česky za 3 minuty, the fastest, easiest and most fun way to learn Czech. In the last lesson we learned the phrase promiňte, mluvíte anglicky, which means excuse me, do you speak English? We mentioned the word promiňte, which means excuse me in formal Czech. In this lesson you are going to learn how to use promiňte and other words when apologizing in Czech. We should use promiňte in formal situations, such as when asking for a seat on a train. For example, promiňte, je tady volno? Which means, excuse me, is the seat free? We can also use it when asking another question. Promiňte, kde je tady východ? Which means, excuse me, where is the exit, please? Sometimes we also hear people say prosím vás, which means the same thing when you want to draw somebody's attention. We use this phrase in formal speech. Prosím vás. The informal way to say excuse me is prosím tě. Prosím tě. Just like prosím vás, we can use prosím tě when asking a question. Maybe you already remember from lesson 1 that tě and vás mean you in the accusative case. Tě is the informal version and vás is formal. If you really want to apologize for something, it might be better to use a different phrase. That phrase is omlouvám se. It means I'm sorry and can be used in both formal and informal situations. Omlouvám se. First we have omlouvám, from the Czech verb for to apologize, omlouvat. When this is conjugated for I in Czech, it is omlouvám. Se is used in the reflexive form of the verb omlouvat. Now it's time for Veronica's insights. Please remember that in the Czech Republic, if you accidentally bump into someone, we don't say I'm sorry, which is omlouvám se. Instead, we say promiňte or promiň. Are you able to count in Czech? In the next lesson, we will learn the numbers in Czech from 1 to 10. I will be waiting for you in our next Česky za 3 minuty lesson. Ahoj příště! Ahoj, já jsem Veronika. Hi everybody, I'm Veronika. Welcome to CzechClass101.com's Česky za 3 minuty, the fastest, easiest and most fun way to learn Czech. In the last lesson, you learned some words to use when you are apologizing in Czech, including promiňte and omlouvám se. In this lesson, you will learn numbers in Czech. Yes, numbers, čísla, from 1 to 10. And you are going to learn them in only 3 minutes, za 3 minuty. Are you ready? Let's start. 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6, 7, 7, 8, 8, 9, 9, 10, 10. Okay, now repeat after me. I will say the numbers and give you time to repeat each one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Great job! Do you know what comes before jedna? It's right, it's nula. Nula. You don't have any more excuses. You can now give your friends your phone number in Czech. Let's try together. We will use the phrase moje telefonní číslo je, which means my number is, moje telefonní číslo je, moje telefonní číslo je 2 8 1 8 6 4 1 6 8. It's 2 8 1 8 6 4 1 6 8. Perfect. Now it's time for Veronica's insights. Jedna and dva can actually have 3 different forms. We use the forms jedna and dvě when counting feminine nouns. For example, jedna květina, meaning 1 flower, and dvě květiny, meaning 2 flowers. Jeden and dva are used with masculine nouns. For example, jeden strom, meaning 1 tree, and dva stromy, meaning 2 trees. Jedno and dvě are the forms for counting neuter nouns. For example, jedno dítě, meaning 1 child, dvě děti, meaning 2 children. Notice that dvě is the form for feminine as well as neuter nouns. Other numbers starting from 3, which means 3, do not change their forms depending on gender. Do you know the Czech word for 100? In the next lesson, you will learn the numbers from 10 to 100 in Czech. Your task now is to practice the numbers we studied in this lesson, from 1 to 10. I will see you in the next Česky za 3 minuty lesson. Ahoj! Ahoj, já jsem Veronika. Hi everybody, I am Veronika. Welcome to czechclass101.com's Česky za 3 minuty, the fastest, easiest and most fun way to learn Czech. In the last lesson, you learned the numbers from 1 to 10. Do you remember them? Here, I tell you again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And now let's continue from 11. 11, 11, 12, 12, 13, 13, 14, 14, 15, 15, 16, 16, 17, 17, 18, 18, 19, 19. And finally we have 20, 20. Okay, now repeat after me. I will say the numbers and give you time to repeat each one. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. These numbers may seem harder to remember, but you really just have to memorize 11, 14, 15, 19 and 20. But for 12, 13, 16, 17 and 18, you just have to add knots to the units. Let's not stop at 20. Counting to 100 is super easy. Now I'll give you the tens. 30, 30, 40, 40, 50, 50, 60, 60, 70, 70, 80, 80, 90, 90, 100, 100. While you have to memorize a few of these numbers, there are a couple of tricks that will make memorizing them incredibly easy. In order to build 30, which means 30, you just add z to the word for 3, which is 3, and you get 30. The same goes for 40. 30, 40. To build 70, meaning 70, you just add desa to 7, 7. The same goes for 80, meaning 80. 70, 80. So now you only have to remember 50, 60, 90 and 100. The last thing to learn in this lesson is how to form compound numbers above 20. This is also super easy. Take the tens and simply add the numbers you learned in the previous lesson. Let's try it out. How would you say 56 in Czech? Let's take it step by step. 50 is 50 and 6 is 6. So 56 is 56. 56. 56, it's done. Isn't that easy? Let's make another number, for instance, 98. Take 90, 90, and add 8, 8. 98. Now it's time for Veronica's insights. If you are talking about time in Czech, you can use the numbers we have learned in this lesson. For example, if you want to say we will meet at 16:30, you can simply say setkáme se v 16:30. Setkáme se means we will meet. Let's try another one. We will meet at 19:45. Setkáme se v 19:45. So now you know how to make an appointment in Czech. After only 2 lessons, you are now able to count to 100 in Czech. In the next lesson, we are going to put your number knowledge to use. Do you have all the skills you need to go shopping in the Czech Republic? If not, I'll be waiting for you in our next Česky za 3 minuty lesson. Ahoj příště! Ahoj, já jsem Veronika. Hi everybody, I'm Veronika. Welcome to CzechClass101.com's Česky za 3 minuty, the fastest, easiest and most fun way to learn Czech. In the last lesson you learned how to count in Czech. I hope you spent some time practicing the numbers because they will come in handy today. You are going to learn how to go shopping in the Czech Republic. Before you go, you need to know how to say how much is it. Kolik to stojí? Kolik to stojí? Are you ready to go shopping in the Czech Republic? Let's go! Let's say you see something you like and want to ask the shop clerk how much it costs. The first thing to say to a shop clerk is promiňte. Do you remember what that means? It's excuse me. Promiňte, kolik to stojí. Promiňte, kolik to stojí. If you want to be more specific when asking how much is this and refer to a certain type of object, you first need to drop the word to. Next, you need to know if the object is a masculine, feminine, or neuter object. If it is a masculine, add ten when referring to it, or ta for a feminine object, and to for a neuter one. And then say the noun. For example, hat is a masculine noun, klobouk. So the sentence is, promiňte, kolik stojí ten klobouk? Excuse me, how much is this hat? Promiňte, kolik stojí ten klobouk? And skirt is a feminine noun, sukně. Promiňte, kolik stojí ta sukně? Excuse me, how much is this skirt? Promiňte, kolik stojí ta sukně? Finally, car is a neuter noun, auto. So you would say, promiňte, kolik stojí to auto? Excuse me, how much is this car? Promiňte, kolik stojí to auto? At this point, the shop clerk can answer by saying stojí to, and then the price followed by crowns, korun. For example, stojí to 39 korun. Stojí to 39 korun. What number is 39? I'm not telling you. Okay, it's 39. It costs 39 crowns. Now it's time for Veronica's insights. If you are buying a few things and you want to know what the final price of everything together will be, you can ask, kolik to dělá dohromady? Or, how much will it cost together? Kolik to dělá dohromady? Dohromady means together. So now you can be sure you will not spend more than you have. At this point, can you count crowns in Czech? We are going to learn how to do that and much more in the next lesson. I'll be waiting for you in our next Česky za 3 minuty lesson. Ahoj příště!
Expand your vocabulary with our Core 2000 Words ebook. It's free and packed with essential expressions that you'll use on a daily basis. Start building your vocabulary today. Click the link in the description below to download your free Czech ebook before it's gone.